Toyota. Calimera, Olimera, Gatemera. Good morning, all morning, every morning. Little tip, everybody. Everybody's always asking, George, where do you get all your energy from? How do you have all this energy?
Edibles.
It's called the Frappuccino Puppuccino. It's the Frappuccino Puppuccino. Nothing better. You got the course that's great for you. Are you joking me? First thing in the morning? 8 o'clock in the morning? They're even here before that because they open up for me. Just have my Frappuccino Puppuccino.
Hey, Marco, what are you doing?
Special delivery for my client. So we're in Woodbridge today. My client bought this beautiful front door. Hey, man, how are you? A little bit interrupted. My customer came up. Special gift for his mom. Her husband bought it for her for her birthday. They're right now they're in the mushroom. They're doing her music, having fun. And she's gonna come out of the balcony. She's gonna see her special gift. Yeah. So pretty excited about this. I don't usually do deliveries at 10 p.m. on a Saturday, but we'll make an exception.
Nice.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There is more to that delivery actually that it doesn't show in the video, but
I took it down.
That's incredible.
I love the hands in the air.
yeah, it doesn't show the flat tire I got in the trade-in on the way back.
It's a one and two boy Paul, aka the Dodge Father, and my boy Phil at the one, the only 4-City Dodge. And we want to roll down for another Wrangler Wednesday. So let's get this started. Oh, you killed me.
What?
It's a good thing we don't have Americans on there. We'd have to explain this is such a Canadian thing.
The Dodge Father.
I know that me and Billy Boy just chucked up some Red Bulls. Let's go on about this piece behind me. What we got here, guys, is a 2020 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Sahara all-season package. This package, guys, nice little package they build on the Sahara. Jeep does this every once in a while. They do a little add-on to the Sport or the Sahara is limited. Along with the all-season package, you also get the blacked out dash, and you'll get the no-fire headliners for all the freedom tops. Along with that, too, you get the auxiliary ports or any accessories that you decide to put on your Wrangler. With that too, you also get heated seats, heated steering wheel, full safety protector, dual tops, and full leather. We want to thank all you guys for watching. And now, since you know COVID's starting to finally lighten up, the Legend Trails out, and this gorgeous weather, which I'm cooking, I don't know about you, my boy, is out here. It's time to let you keep come out and play. So come down here, see your boy the Dodge Father, or your boy Phil, and let's get you in the Jeep. And now, bringing you the news from Comox Valley Dodge, it's Carson's Corner.
Hi everyone, Carson Grant, Comox Valley Dodge. Hope you guys are all doing fantastic, enjoying this beautiful weather that we're having. We're still continuing to stay positive and stay safe. If you've driven by our lot as of late, as you can see, we've got a very low amount of inventory. Two things. One, it's because of the great incentives that we've got going on. Currently this month, for the month of September, we've got 0% financing up to 96 months and up to 25% off on Ram 1500s. What we have on the lot isn't necessarily everything that we do have. We do have access to other vehicles at our holding yard south of the island. So if we don't have it, we'll find it for you. That's not a problem. But we still do have some great pieces available to you. The reason why we've chiseled down our inventory is to make room for our new build, which is starting to break ground in the fall here. So look for that coming down the pipe. And we hope that you guys are all staying safe, staying positive, as I said. If you're interested in taking advantage of some of these great incentives, please feel free to comment below or simply email us at sales@comoxvalleydodge.com. Thank you again for your continued support and have a great day.
Cool. So different takes for different people. Obviously, very different people on the call. So each one has their own view. But go ahead, Jeff, maybe you can set up what we're doing today.
Great. Well, good morning, afternoon, depending where you're calling in from. Welcome to the AutoHubShow. We call this one the Titans of Digital Media. And today we originally had 4 guests today. One of them was Paul, the Dodge father-long, who you saw his video there, but from Forest City, Chrysler, and lovely London, Ontario. Must be a forest city. But he's got a touch of the flu, so hopefully he gets better soon, and which leaves more time for Marco Mantenuto. Hopefully I pronounced that right, Marco, from Audi Queensway in Etobicoke, Ontario. See, I know how to pronounce that, not Etobicoke. And it certainly has, you already saw there, is a great online presence. Carson Grant from out here in Comox Valley Dodge. And Comox, Carson, I saw your video yesterday of you with your daughter out trying to do good. Great thing. And of course, George, oh my gosh, Saroglu. How is it, George? How do I pronounce it again?
It's pronounced Saroglu.
Saroglu from Stouffville Toyota in Stouffville, Ontario. And if you don't follow any of these gentlemen, it's certainly worthwhile. And George is good for a laugh. Carson's good for learning some good things. And Marco's just got some nice, classy things to do, birthday presents for 3 people. So, guys, I got a question to get this started for everybody getting going. How did you start personal videos, Marco?
Pretty much started with, well, the motivation behind it was the fact that when I was a sales manager, I used to tell my salespeople to do videos all the time for clients. And when I decided to make the shift and get back on the floor, I found this incredible amount of pressure that I put on other people now above me. And I said, I've been telling people to do videos for 5 years now. What kind of hypocrite would I be if I didn't do videos? So I had that kind of looming over me. And that gave me the strength to pick up the camera. I knew videos was a positive thing and a good thing to do. It was just, lacking the inspiration and motivation, whatever you want to call it, really the courage to be in front of a camera, because it does take a little bit of courage to put yourself out there, right?
Super. Carson, how about yourself? How did you get started in this?
Well, I was just like the old saying is, if you want to lead a team, you've got to kind of do it. So, that's how I did it. Is exactly like what Marco was saying. Is if you're going to ask your team to do something, then you better be right there to beside them to doing it yourself. So, I think the biggest thing, the important thing when starting a personal video is you need to find out a few things first. What is your end goal? Is it to drive traffic to your website, social media, through to your dealership? Is it promoting a product or service through your business? Is it to help your community or charities or fundraisers to raise awareness? Then obviously, who is your audience? What's your approach? And then you can kind of put together somewhat of a game plan there to execute.
Excellent. And of course, last but certainly not least, George, how did you get started in this?
Well, similar to what Marco had mentioned, I was a sales manager for many, many years, and I used to train with my people. And it got to the point where, I started taking people with no courage in front of a camera whatsoever, building up their courage, and all of a sudden they started doing it. And then when I decided to say goodbye to management after 20 years and get onto the floor, I said, well, you know what? I got all this experience. I'm kind of shy in front of a camera, so I needed to work on that. I needed to work on it a little bit, but Yeah, it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I love to have fun. Almost after 30 years of doing this, you gotta have fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, for darn sure. Ian, how about you continue from here?
Oh, well, I mean, I followed all these gentlemen for quite a while online. Obviously, we've had George on before. I had a lot of respect for all of them. Marco's also done some great videos if you haven't seen them on how to sell cars during COVID and even tips for other salespeople, which is great. It's always good to see people having fun in the car business because I think in a lot of cases, car dealers take it way too seriously. And the reality is that's why I got into the car business 20 years ago was it was a fun job and it wasn't your normal run of the mill, like let's go to an office and sit there and look at a CRM, for example. And I think video and social, and I was doing it almost 20 years ago, got myself in a little bit of hot water, by the way, with Honda Canada. At the time, I was doing stuff because I needed to sell cars and I was having fun with it. And, the reality is you learn every single day. And that's why we want to do the show because obviously there's a lot of people out there who could be promoting what they do. But to quote somebody in the car business, everyone seems to be secretly in the car business and they're not spreading the word. And I think that's a big mistake. Social has definitely made it easier to spread the word, but you still got to have an end goal and something that you want to do. Anyway, Jeff, are you going to intro Marco or do you want me to intro Marco?
Well, you know what? We can fight over it, but I'll let you introduce him. You know longer than me.
So Marco, I've been following for quite a while on social media. I really liked his video during COVID where he's talking about his whopping bill. I think it was from Rogers for his data. And the fact that he's was selling a lot of cars using his phone. I believe it or not, was selling cars using a flip cam years ago. Which was kind of pre-phone, but basically the same idea. You've got to share what makes you different. So Marco, maybe you can talk to us a little bit about your auto career and more importantly, how social has really impacted that lately.
So when I started, I was much like a lot of people in the industry. I was given a desk and a phone and a computer and a sweet good luck. And I'll never forget this. And because I got sat down by the dealer principal, one of the two dealer principals, brothers, after a week of working there, and he said to me, I was 18 years old, my hair was down to here. Suit was way too big for me. But anyways, he sat me down and he says, if you don't start selling cars, we're gonna have to fire you. And I'm sitting there like 18 years old, just shaking in my boots. And I looked at him and I was literally stumbling on my words. And went, but you guys haven't trained me. And he's like, well, that's tough luck. And I'm, fast forward to now. It's after I was in the management position, after I sold cars and kind of touched base on a few different aspects of the dealership. I felt the need to help new recruits because I didn't want people to go through what I went through, and at the same time, the same token that gave me the courage to also start doing videos for my clients and all that. Really, it started with walk around videos where you don't really have your face in it, and then ultimately became what it is now, which I'm not shy to get in the camera and just shoot a quick video.
Well, so thanks, John Marco. We notice obviously you do a lot of videos helping other auto salespeople and showing them what to do and how to do it. What has been the response from other automotive sales professionals? Please do.
I get asked. So I get one thing that I didn't account for is the amount of questions I end up getting on my inbox in regards to sales from new salespeople, which is cool. And it's doing exactly what I was hoping it would do, which was help them out. If somebody reaches out to you for help, that means that they value your opinion and so forth. So it's it goes to solidify everything that I'm doing. It's actually working, and I don't mind helping them. And there's different people the one thing that I didn't expect at all was people that are not in the industry to reach out to me, asking me how to get into the industry. Because everybody knows that you have to go to Georgian College here and get your OMVIC, but nobody knows how to get a job. So they'll reach out to me and say, listen, I went to this dealership, I did this interview, and this is the outcome that came out of it. And they're not willing to hire me. So I coach them through actually the interview process, what people want to what questions are going to be asked so that they're not stumped and so forth, right? how to address different questions and what to be prepared for. That's the one thing I didn't expect, and it's probably the best part about the questions that I get.
And I have another question for you. Thanks for that. Obviously, you represent a prestige brand. How do you think luxury vehicles differ in terms of digital promotion from the higher volume brands? Like, are you getting any feedback from Audi? Are you getting any feedback from the OEM or your local marketing person on that versus, say, like someone who's working for a more high volume brand? Is it different in your opinion?
It is definitely different. So there's when it comes to high-end brands, there's a brand especially out there that's predominantly corporate in the sense of the stores that they own. I'm not going to mention it, but yeah, they have a pretty tight watch on what's posted on social media, and they will actually give the salesperson feedback or tell them to stop or whatever it is. Lucky for me, I don't work for that brand, and I get to kind of do what I want. And also, I mean, I'm the biggest judge of of what I put out there, so I'm not just going to put out anything that's that's going to jeopardize my job or anything like that. I groom what the videos that I put out there as much as I can, and the worst thing I'll do is I'll put something very borderline, but it's not. I never push the envelope to the point where I'm jeopardizing my job or making the brand look bad, and that's that's really what it comes down to. But people that sell prestige cars, like high-end cars, they do tend to take the job just a notch too seriously a lot of times. So it's like you said at the beginning, it's you get into the industry because you want to have fun, and it's a fun place to be. So I don't think, like, just because the product changes, it shouldn't change the way you feel about the industry and the career that you've chosen and all that. So
Yeah, I mean, from a point of view of brand, I mean, and we had a gentleman, Neil Shea from Kia on. I mean, he gets support not only nationally but internationally from their marketing people because he just promotes their brand. He happens to be a marketing director, but I thought that was interesting. Whereas years ago, really, it was the brand kind of, this is how you should market your product. So it's kind of interesting how that's shifting. How much time and preparation and effort does it take you to produce your post in terms of like editing it and the equipment you need? And I mean, is that something that is a big deal for someone getting into this?
the investment was like $130 for a selfie stick that actually the moves with the phone so that it stabilizes your phone.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I'm not great at editing videos. So the gimbal, that's the name of the selfie stick that I purchased, really helped me stabilize, because that's the one thing I would watch my first videos and feel seasick. I'm like, okay, I got to fix this. The other thing that helped me quite a bit was my girlfriend is in real estate, and she does a lot of videos, whether it's open houses or promotions and all that stuff. So I felt like if I was ever closest to my parents was like in terms of how they feel when they use their first computer, like that's how I felt, because I'm like, I'm relatively young, and I'm sitting here going, I have no idea what I'm doing with videoing. And she held me by the hand and walked me through, this is how you edit it, this is how you add music, and here's a idiot proof program that you can use to edit your videos. And I'm sitting there going, okay, thank you. And so I've narrowed it down. Now it could take me anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour, depending on the video that I'm editing and that I'm filming. You've seen my videos. There's no, it's definitely, none of my videos are going to go to Cannes or TIFF, but they're genuine. They're like, this is what you get. It's a can of beans, open it, and it's exactly what it is. But I just try to get the point across as quick and as efficiently as I can. Put it that way. But yeah, there's no Warner Brothers production behind me, no team, no. It's just an iPhone and a gimbal. It's that's it.
You'd be intimidated then by the cost to get into this. Like if they've got a phone and they've got the desire to do it, they can learn as they go.
Yeah, it's I mean I thought that I was looking. I never forget this when I started doing the videos. I went to Best Buy and I priced out the best camera that did HD videos and everything else. And the guy came up and he's like, "This is exactly what you need to do these videos." And I looked at the bin. I'm like, "It's $2,300." I'm like, not that it's not about the investment, because that's what it is. It's an investment. I said, but I just can't justify spending $2,300 when I can just do it with my phone and a lot quicker. So basically, that $2,300 would have equated to having to film a video, then uploading it into a computer. Basically, what takes me 15 minutes to an hour, and it's not as polished, would have taken me 12 hours or 10 hours or 5 hours, whatever it takes to edit, to upload it, download it, and do everything else, edit it and all that through a computer. And in the car industry, we don't have very much time to do that. So I just do it quickly, efficiently, and from my phone. And yeah, that's it. I mean, it's when you try and work the hours that we work, like if you want to deliver the amount of cars that everybody wants to deliver, or they tell you should deliver, you should be at work, sometimes 9 to 9 a lot of days. And you want to go home, and the last thing you want to do is, when you just shut your brain off from sales, is start editing a sales video. And you just want to spend time with your loved ones, and make sure your dog still recognizes you, and all that fun stuff. So
I had a question from Jay Barron. 44 cars sold in 1 month. Congratulations. How did you do it with all the time spent on video? Do you have a delivery guy that works with you, or how does that work?
oh, that's the best question. I don't have a delivery guy. I don't have a licensing clerk. So it's a lot of work. And like I said, the videos, it's as much time, like I put as much time as possible towards them whenever I do have an allocation of time. But it's accountability and time management. And 44 cars a month, I did not take a day off. Sundays were my day off. And I was here like bell to bell every single day, sometimes an hour before the store closed and an hour after it closed. But I had a clear goal set in mind that I wanted to set a record, and the business was there. So why say no to it? Why not reply to a lead when you're at home, and go the extra mile, right? So it wasn't easy. It's not easy. I'm hoping I can beat it, but it was definitely a lot of time management and a lot of time spent in the dealership. That's for darn sure.
Fantastic. So Jeff, and since it's the time, we have to go on. So maybe you can introduce Carson.
Perfect. Well, our next guest joining us from the lovely Comox, BC, on the Vancouver Island, lovely place. And if you can get used to the jets flying overhead from the airbase, a nice place to be. Carson and I, we kind of met, so to speak, when we were at competing Chrysler dealerships, although 25 miles apart. And from there, Carson, tell us a little bit more, and welcome.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jeff. Yeah, I've been in the business. Grew up playing hockey and had a bad concussion. My dad was in the business, working for a Chrysler store, and coming out of junior hockey, and been told that I couldn't move on with that career. I was a little bit lost, and the dad kind of took me under his wing and said, "Hey, why don't you come to work with me one day?" And I decided to throw on a suit, same thing as Marco, a little bit oversized and a little bit baggy, but went to work, sold a couple cars, and I was hooked. And that was 2 months before my 19th birthday, and I haven't looked back since. My dad was in the business. Both my sisters were in the business as well, so it was kind of in our blood. And worked my way through finance, non-prime, and then into sales management, then general sales management, and now obviously GM for the last 6 years. Lot has changed throughout my career, not only on a personal level, but throughout the business as well, specifically in the digital world, and making sure that you're trying to build teams. It seems like they're getting younger and younger as you move on, but it's kind of nice. We found a nice home out here. We lost my dad and my brother and my mother-in-law all in 1 year. So my wife and I decided to kind of hit the reset button and come out to beautiful Comox, which is kind of like heaven on earth. So we had a good opportunity to get back with the Trotman Auto Group here again, and I've been here since June of last year, and it's been great. Beautiful place. There's nothing to complain about. You know, we had to, obviously it's a lot smaller store than what I've been used to in the past, but being part of an auto group, you've got those avenues to help you out and push you forward. But you know, we're working out of an old gas station that's was built back in the 1950s, and you know, everybody says, "Oh, I bet you can't wait to get out of that place." And to be honest with you, I love it. It gives us a little bit of character, and even makes our customers feel a little bit bad for us. So,
oh, great. I'm glad you're finding a good place there. So how hard was it to build a successful digital presence? Because you mentioned that already, and you know, what were your challenges getting it started?
well, I think, you know, there's challenges with everything. You know, getting buy-in from your team, and I think we mentioned it earlier. Is you need to do it with them, and you need to make sure that you're believing in what you're putting out there, and having fun doing so. You know, and you know, this business, and I think Ian touched on that, is there's too many dealers, too many GMs, dealer principals out there that just take things way too serious. And I just, you know, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to be one of those guys. I want to make sure that my team's having fun. Obviously, still holding them accountable to what is expected of them, but at the same time, I want them to enjoy coming to work and wanting to come to work. And as Marco said, you know, selling the 44 cars and working every day pin to pin, I'm sure that you know, if he didn't enjoy the workspace that he was in, he wasn't going to be come to work every day with the right attitude and the right work ethic. So it's it kind of all comes in motion here, but it all comes down from the top to the bottom, is that you're giving a good platform for someone to come and enjoy their workspace. So that's the key. And I think, you know, to answer your question, Jeff, sorry to ramble a little bit, but you know, on the digital side of things, I just kind of took a look when I took over the store and realized you know, a few areas of that I really wanted to attack, and things that we definitely needed to improve on. And you know, community was a big part of that. We're in a small community here in the Comox Valley. We've got about 70,000 people, and community is huge, and the local businesses are huge. And you know, it's a small town, and things spread very quickly. And if it's bad, it spreads even faster. So we wanted to make sure, you know, my goal in the first year was to make sure that we're kind of a leading charge within the community, and doing our part to help out as best as we can.
Well, you know, you mentioned too, you know, being in a small community. What do you do differently? You know, considering your fellow guests here in a pretty large market, the giant black hole of Toronto. What do you do differently for your market?
You know what, this is the thing too, is that, you know, in the digital world, we're all on the same playing field, and it doesn't matter, you know, if you're in downtown Toronto or, you know, little Comox Valley, you still have the same platform, you still have the same audience. And I think it just comes down to, you know, you have to have different ways to approach your digital campaigns. I try to stage them in different pillars of marketing, sales being one of them, promoting incentives, sale events, things like that, that gain you more opportunities. Obviously, every store from here to you know, the East Coast are doing the same thing when it comes down to sales. Parts and service, really honing in on customer service and making sure that your customers feel comfortable doing business with you. Third pillar would be knowledge. giving fun facts from why you should have change your fluids or a regular basis, or wow factors of products and services. Cool factor, that's the big thing. That's one of the things that I've added. One of the pillars I've added here is it was very, how do I say it, politically correct, a little bit boring, a little bit plain. I wanted to spice things up. I wanted to go with the younger sales floor. I wanted to get some energy and some enthusiasm and some things that, lifted trucks and lifted Jeeps and things like that are going to attract different age groups throughout your audience. Why buy from us? Giving it, making it crystal clear on what is expected from for our customers from us when wanting to do business with us. And I think 90% of the car industry make it very difficult to do business with them. And I wanted to make sure that it was extremely easy to do business with us. And if someone wants to come in and do a deal strictly with myself, I'm there to do it. If someone wants to come in and deal with my fixed operations manager, they can do it. And it goes all the way through my whole team, and everybody's kind of on board. We had to move a few things when it comes down to our team, and building and finding the right people. Most people on this call are in the business, I imagine. And there's a few things that I've been told is, you've got the right product, you've got the right process, and you've got the right people, you'll gain some profits. And I think, the people are the biggest thing, and making sure that you've got the right team in place. And, processes, everybody has those processes. We believe that we've got a really good process in place, but the people we're missing the boat on. Now we've got a team that, I feel completely comfortable giving a lead to any one of my sales reps. I know that it's going to be handled accordingly. Moving on, obviously, the last pillar is something that I'm extremely passionate about, is community involvement, and that's something that we've chatted about earlier. I've always been proud of being kind of a leader within the industry in this category, and the reason being, to answer your question, Jeff, is what are you doing different? And it's more than just stroking a check to a local hockey team. It's getting out to the community and helping out. We've started a program called CVD Cares, Comox Valley Dodge Cares campaigns. And it's a wide range of things. One, my wife, we've got 2 little girls and another one on the way. But we feel that it's very important to make sure that they feel they understand the importance of giving back. And so my wife kind of runs a breakfast club, or she did before COVID, obviously, for the dealership, and she does a lot of the community involvement, going down to the soup kitchen and whatnot, and making sure that we're out in the community and doing our part to help out with those that are a little bit less fortunate. During COVID, I saw a great opportunity there to really focus on the digital side of things on our community page. What we did was we kind of did just a social media post, just a simple video asking who needs help, and who would like to help. And we had a lot of hand raisers that wanted to help, and there's a couple individuals within the community that were a little bit up against it, and we managed to feed over 100 individuals that were a little bit down and out. And that's something that I hold close to my heart. Obviously, you want to make a difference in a positive way, and especially with a community like we have here. Another thing too is once we kind of saw our way coming out of COVID, I saw another opportunity to promote local businesses. There's a lot of local businesses here. And a lot of those businesses, a lot of those customers or a lot of those people are our customers. And I wanted to kind of use our platform to to help promote their business and let everybody know that it's not all about selling cars or servicing vehicles. It's about giving back to the community that's given back so much to myself and my team.
Terrific. So I assume that you get a pretty good return on your investment from the videos.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a pretty loaded question. ROI,
Of course it is.
ROI vary and depends on what I'm trying to accomplish. Like I mentioned to you earlier, it's not all about selling rides, but building your reputation within the community and building your client base, which will give you a continued ROIs as long as you follow through with doing business, your business practice properly, and making sure that you're taking care of your clients and your community. I think. So to answer your question, yeah, of course you're going to get a good ROI, but there's more to it than just a video. There's the hard work after the fact and making sure that you're following through with what you're putting out there.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your comments, and now we'll get Ian, if you could take it from there, and we'll touch base with everybody right at the end. Thank you.
Thanks very much. So, Mr. George, last time he was live from Greece. This time, I guess live from Stouffville Toyota. If you're not familiar with George, watch his videos. If you're not seeing that he's having a lot of fun, you're probably not watching enough of them. But anyway, George, maybe you could talk about how you got into videos. Like, why the video?
I've seen a lot of people prior to me getting into the videos, especially south of the border. And I wanted to take what they were doing and introduce it to a new level. And I love the camera. Put me in front of a camera, put a microphone in front of me, and I'm just like you, or just like yourself or Jeff. I just love to be in front of people and letting them know that where I am, what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and having fun doing it. So it's something that's become a routine, and the feedback has been far beyond what I could have ever expected.
So do you like the video that we showcased this morning? For everyone who didn't watch it, obviously you were showcasing a local business.
Yes.
Do you do that a lot? I mean, you have a large connection to your community. I mean, obviously being Greek by background, but is there a lot of community connection there that you get a lot of support from doing those videos?
Yeah. So, for example, that specific video, I've done a couple in front of he's the local butcher in Toronto. He's very well known. He's a very good friend of mine. He's been in business for 40 years. I get a lot of good insight from a lot of the older guys that have been in business a long time. These people with zero education, and they got just hard work ethic. And this man's there every day at 6, 7 in the morning, and he's there until 6, 7 at night, every night. And he's a leader. And believe it or not, he gives me energy when I talk to him in the morning. He in Greek, he tells me, "You are absolutely crazy. You're too crazy for me, George." But I mean, he runs. Here's an immigrant who came to this country, 50 years ago. Started off as the butcher, and now he bought his butcher shop, and now he owns the whole building, the whole strip mall. So, I mean, it's that's a staple in Toronto. If you're living in Toronto, especially in the Greek community, everybody knows that butcher.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
You had any negative feedback? So haters from your posts?
It's funny you say that, because I had a few characters. I'm taking off the jacket and it's getting a little warm, eh? Yeah, I had one guy specifically a couple days ago kind of, write me back something, and I simply, my reply was, all I'm trying to do is put a smile on people's faces, and it's just that simple. It's very simple. I get feedback from children, parents, people that are struggling. I had another friend of mine I hadn't seen in forever. And one morning I opened up my phone, and his comment to me was, "You know what, George, I opened up your video, and I really needed a smile that day. And I really appreciate what you do." And it was just that simple. So, I mean, whatever the feedback is, even from that one gentleman or from the odd guys that, have negative feedback, I always tell them, and I mean it. I appreciate your feedback. Tell me it. I want to know your feedback. So, part of me wants to jump through the phone and strangle them, but I mean, the logical side and the smart thing to do, because I do appreciate it, is to say thank you, and it kind of usually stops right there. I had another guy. Remember, again, some comment. He started throwing some stupid comments, and I just again I thanked him for the feedback. I took a little poke at him because I think he was working for Chrysler at the time, and then him and I now communicate more frequently on a good note. So it's nice. It's nice getting feedback.
So you got to get new haters. You convert them all into fans. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
There's a famous, what is it? I think it's a Winston Churchill quote. You're not doing anything unless people are barking at you. So I thought that was interesting.
Well, in my opinion, any publicity is good publicity. So bad
100%.
publicity is good publicity too.
So based on doing the videos versus not doing them, what do you feel that impact has been for your business?
Like I said, when I coached I've coached hundreds and hundreds of salespeople in the past, and when it was my turn to take control of, my own videos, I already had a lot of experience, and the impact. Like I said, until you actually do it, it's one thing to train it and coach it and see other people get results. But when I sat down with the dealer principal here and management, and they gave me the full green light from day one, because the owner here has known me for 30 years. So he gave me the full green light, and honest to God, not only I'm overwhelmed at times, the amount of response and the business and the ROI that's been coming out of it. The owner will go to meetings across the country, or he's got these, what do they call meetings when the dealers get together?
20 groups.
20 groups.
Yeah, like 20 groups. And they'll all ask him. And they'll start posting my videos in front of them and in front of the 20 groups in these performance groups. So it's pretty awesome when you have full confidence from the leader, from the owner of the company. And, there was just one video he told me, hey, you got to take this one down. just one, But aside from that, because like I said, I like to have fun, but there's that line too, right?
What does Toyota Canada think?
Oh, Toyota Canada, they love me. They want me to do more. I was actually up at Toyota Canada last week. I did a quick video up there. I haven't really posted yet because I don't know. I liked it, but and I was thought I could do something better. But Toyota Canada, they send me themselves, their friends, their families, their people to buy cars. Just last week, I had 3 referrals from Toyota head office. So yeah, they are fully on board. As a matter of fact, there was one lady who reached out to me. She's in charge of the digital marketing up there, and she wants to do some kind of collaboration. And I said, anytime, any place, I'm all in.
I have another question, and this is really just strictly for me. How do you come up with all the crazy ideas, man? The stuff from Greece. I don't know. I'm just curious. How do you do that?
Well, I know. It's funny. Marco was saying about he takes 15 minutes to an hour at sometimes to editing and stuff like that. I'm just a one-take wonder. There is no editing. There's no nothing. There's one shot. It's one time. There's no scripts. There's no nothing. It's kind of off the cusp, and I get this idea, comes to my head, I roll with it, and I throw it on real fast. And it's just me being me. And anybody who knows me, they know that's me being me. And like I said, it's just quick, bam, boom, in and out.
I have a question from the audience. Did you find any Toronto Maple Leaf fans in Greece?
We're everywhere. We're everywhere, Leaf fans. We're not happy Leaf fans, but we're everywhere. It's terrible.
Well, I have to tell you something. I took a flight to Toronto one day, and it was on WestJet. And as we land, they do the usual thing. Welcome to Toronto. If this is you're visiting, good for you. If this is home, welcome home. And then the flight attendant said over the radio, says, "How can you tell?" It was April, by the way. "How can you tell when it's spring in Toronto?" And everybody was quiet. Then she says, "The Leafs are out."
Well, I was on a flight going to Greece in August, and I wore my Leaf jersey on the plane. And coincidentally, we made a pit stop in Montreal, and then there was a new flight
Ooh.
crew that came in, and you could tell from the moment this one flight guy looked at my jersey, you could tell he had it out for me from the beginning, and it wasn't a pretty flight.
I had a last final question. What's your advice from all three of you in terms of how to get over the sort of nervousness when you first start doing videos? Like, what's your advice there to people who are new at this?
Best thing, and again, I've worked with people that actually will do it even in their own language, and I just say to them, you got to start somewhere for whatever it is, but once you start doing videos, it's a whole new level than just pictures. And a lot of the guys that I used to work with, my sales guys, were Asian. So you got Korean, Japanese, Chinese, which is Mandarin and Cantonese. So we were doing videos. I didn't understand a word they were saying, but I could tell slowly as they started to build their confidence. And I would record them from their first video to their 10th video to their 20th video, and you can see that transition as they get more comfortable in front of the camera. And the results started to progress and get better and better as they got more comfortable in front of the camera. So it doesn't matter if you're speaking English, Greek, or any other language for that matter, Chinese, Japanese. It's just a matter of getting in front, doing it, starting it, and keep it going.
Marco, you have any thoughts on that?
Marco, you're muted.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you. You're muted.
He's too busy.
There you go. No, I agree with what George said. It's the initial. It's like jumping into a pool, right? Like it's always cold at first, but it warms up afterwards after a little while, right? So, and then it's a lot easier to jump back in at any time you want after that, right? So, I think there's that initial awkwardness, that initial, because we're always going to be our biggest judges when it comes to videos when you first start doing them. And but yeah, after you start rolling with it, it's it becomes fun. So it's cool.
And Carson, you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I think you just picture them naked, no?
Hey, wait a minute. Digital video naked, that's not politically correct.
I think it's called an OnlyFans.
Yeah, no, I think the ones that are struggling with it, just like I tell my guys all the time, is just have fun with it. Just have fun with it. If you want a good laugh, go to our website and take a look at our bloopers clips, our outtakes. Man, oh man, and we have fun with it, right? It is what it is, and keep in mind that on the digital side of things, your videos, you can take a look at your video. If you don't like it, you can redo it. That's the best thing, and it doesn't need to be, you don't need to go through, hours of making it perfect, but you can take a look at your video. Is it perfect? No. Is it what you want? Is your message getting across to your audience properly? And send it out. And this is the thing, is that if people don't like it, like, take a look at George. You've done a great job. Don't get upset about people getting pissed off or throwing stupid remarks at you. Just thank them and kill them with kindness, and it's all going to work out. So,
was there any final questions from the audience? I guess not. All right, so we just got a couple more things to go over. Thanks very much. So I'm just going to go over a quick video Jeff and I shot, unedited, I think. No, actually, I think we did edit it. So here we go. Hey, Jeff, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Look at where I am. I'm great. I'm on the AutoHubShow, buddy.
Well, maybe you could share some learnings from being the host of Vendor Speak and what vendors can do to not only get more people interested in coming to the show, but more importantly, turn that
experience for the people in the show into sales for their business. Well, here's the beauty of vendor speak. For cheap, and I said cheap, they get a really quite professional recording of their show. They can reach out to people. Many of our successful vendors have actually encouraged their connections to attend, who encourage their friends, who've encouraged their friends, and so on and so on. That sounds familiar. Are they stacking the roof? Sure. By all means, something. It's about energy. And last week we had Ben Baker on, and it was a long weekend. And we didn't have a heck of a lot of people attending, which is fine. But it was outstanding because we have a very dynamic speaker. Ben Baker's Your Brand Marketing. And the beauty of Ben, as we said already, is that he's not just a car guy. He does car deals, does insurance, he helps people with HR problems, does podcasts, writes books, gives away 3 books, by the way, and e-books, of course. And it's an opportunity for Ben to get something outside of his normal channel to present to his connections, his customers, and for them to share with other people too. And of course, we put it online as well. Fantastic. Yeah, we've been very successful. We're getting a lot of very happy people. And the beauty is, of course, we've got a lineup of people that want to go on. And we're very selective on the dates. Yeah. We don't want to set people up for failure with long weekends. We won't be doing long weekends anymore, which gives me a Friday off. And it's really a lot of fun. And everybody that's been on that I've heard of has really enjoyed themselves. Fantastic. Well, I have a couple thoughts based on just the fact that, obviously to be successful, not only do you need to necessarily, if you want to slide deck, have a tight slide deck, but remember the attention span of people, especially in the auto industry, is not huge. So you really want to focus on basically 3 things. These 3 things are quite simple. Number 1, why should they care about what you do? So think about that yourself and say, if I'm presenting to an 8-year-old, for example, or an adult, or a millennial, or whatever generation, why should they care and listen? Number 1. Number 2, what's in it for them? Like, why should they purchase what you're buying or you're selling or what you do? So what's the benefit for them? What's the ROI? And number 3, do you have skin in the game? Do you have actually experience in the space that you can speak to? And more importantly, results as to why they should actually do that. Now, if you can do that in about 15 to 20 minutes, that's fantastic. Obviously, have it tight, have it practiced, and remember that, anything over a half an hour in the car business is a little long, to be honest, unless you got a lot of value. Well, we always say, Ian, when a salesman or a sales lady is presenting a car, keep it short and keep it simple. Because nobody wants to listen to somebody, even though the manufacturers love to push this 6-minute walk around, nobody wants to hear somebody talk for 6 minutes uninterrupted. No. And also, we have a great speaker coming up this week, and obviously we have one every week. But also, the best way to be successful at this is, number 1, sponsor the show on Monday when you're speaking on Friday. Number 2, if you don't want to make phone calls to actually confirm people showing up, Barry's working with us. He's got some special pricing. He'll do that for you. Advertise it, promote it. Like, it's your business. We're just a platform. So promote it on social, promote it with your employees, promote it with your current clients, get people to share it. The most success that we have, even throwing our Monday show, is from our guests and also the people that are regulars to say, listen, check out this show. So we always find that they're the best attended shows are the shows where people say, hey, everybody, look where I'm going. And we're finding when people do that, we get a lot of people. Last Monday, which would have been the 5th, we had an attendee from somewhere in Norway. I can't pronounce the town, near Oslo, and it added such an exciting quotient to the show. I cannot tell you.
Thanks for watching. Hopefully that was it was a first take, I think. So there's today's show. Next week's show, we're going to have 2 interesting guests. We're going to have John Kostakos from Spartan Sales talking about should you invest in training for your team in a seminar setting. And if you don't know John, he's been doing this forever across North America, but mostly in Canada. And then John Latka talking about automotive business solutions. John's a longtime follower of the show. It should be interesting because it's two Johns, first of all. And second of all, I think they're both adding a lot of value on the training side, but also the seminar side. And just so you know, John Kostakos has worked representing pretty much every trainer in the space. So he'll be sharing some details on what he's learned from these different trainers as well. Future shows, Vendor Speak coming up this Friday. Vic Kovacs from Why Make Appointments and Dealer Intelligence is speaking. And then upcoming shows, should your team attend a seminar, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly of Omnichannel Marketing Solutions is coming up closer to the end of the month. So if you want to know about software and technology, we're going to have a bunch of vendors on talking about why their technology is good. And we're going to be asking them some tough questions. So it should be an interesting show to learn more about, should you even add this stuff, right? So, you know, there's going to be a bunch of vendors. And that's pretty much it for me. Any final thoughts, Jeff?
Final thoughts from me are thanks everybody for attending another great show, and thank you for others tuning in. It's very nice to have had Carson join us, and of course Marco and George. You know, next time, George, you better come in from somewhere, you know, a little more exciting than Stouffville Toyota.
We're a little disappointed. Such
George,
a barbecue hire.
energy next time.
And reach out to the Dodge father. He's not doing so well. We'll have him on a future show.
Jeff, Ian, thank you, fellas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great week.
All the best. Stay
Thanks,
safe.
gentlemen. Have a great day.
Yep.
Okay. Take care.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.